And this week we're going over a stock in the e-commerce industry, and it's Arista Networks. And folks, it's up only 135% in the past 12 months, so it's got something going for it. And let's see what it does. Well, Arista Networks is a leading supplier of cloud networking solutions. So, folks, this is the key right in here, and it is making money. For large-scale internet companies, cloud service providers, and data center for enterprises. These solutions include its extensible operating system, EOS, a set of network appliances, and its 1040, 100 gigabyte Ethernet switches. Sounds impressive, folks. Now, these products are sold through both a direct sales force and channel partners, and it has a strategic partnership with VMware, which, by the way, is now a private company. It used to be a public company, but then it went private, and Arista is in partnership or has a strategic partnership with VMware to enhance the adoption of network virtualization. And that's very, very important because these guys got to have something going over here, and it has approximately 3,600 employees. So it's a company that's on the roll, and let's see what it does or how it's been doing. First of all, when we look at the clean surplus return on equity, now remember, the clean surplus return on equity is different than the traditional accounting ROE, but it's more suitable to comparing these numbers with a bank account. So the average stock in the S&P 500 has a 13.5% return on clean surplus return on equity. So think of bank account S&P 500 giving you a 13.5% return. Meanwhile, Arista is giving you a 28.8% return, or double that. So which bank would you rather put your money in? And which bank do you think you're going to have more money after 3 years and 5 years and 10 years? Yeah, as long as it keeps up this number up here, folks. Now, net income, which is the clean surplus income. So it's income that is strictly because of the income from the core operations of the company. So it does away with the options that are used for salary increases. That's in the footnote someplace, and it goes on and on. So net income is the pure income from the core operations of the company, and we can see it's almost double the average company. Average company about 13%, and Arista 25%, so almost double the average company. When it comes to revenue, we can compare those numbers exactly because we don't have to clean them up, we don't have to do anything. What's the revenue? 7.1% for the average company, 24%, 3.5 times the average company for Arista. So as long as it's bringing in that revenue and then brings it to the bottom line, it's going to keep up this clean surplus ROE. And guess what, folks? Let's take a look. We can see that in 1 year, this company, black line is the S&P 500, and this mustard-colored line is Arista. And folks, it just keeps going up. It's doing very, very well in here. And I just want to go back to the numbers. Now, this is the net income by the year. So rather than just saying this is what the average has been for 5 years, we want to look at that. Why? Because every year it has been going up except for 2020, which was, yeah, you remember, COVID. So the earnings fell down, but still it was making a lot of money. And when that converts into the clean surplus ROE, the average company, as we saw in the one chart, the average company has a clean surplus ROE of about 13%. To get into our growth portfolio, we'd like to see about 20%. And this company right now for 2024 is projected to have about 28.8% return. So as long as this stays above 20%, we like it. Like even down here in 20 and 21, it had above a 20% ROE, even though its earnings fell. Now, the earnings did not decline, they just didn't grow as fast. So you have to keep that in mind. Retention rate is 100%. That means all the money it's making is going right back in the company in order to grow. And how do we know it's putting that money to use efficiently? It keeps the clean surplus return on equity high. So that means it's making money. Years to pay debt? Folks, here's a company that's not paying it, that doesn't have any debt, so it doesn't have to pay any debt. So it's operating nicely, all on the income of the company itself. It doesn't have to rely on borrowing. And net dividend, of course, is 0%. That's because it's taking all the money and putting it back into itself in order to grow. And again, the 1 year return, almost 135%, while the S&P 500 is up about 21%, and then over 5 years with the S&P up about 70%, 75%, this stock is up 350%. So folks, we're surprised that it didn't take off further back here, because the ROE was very, very high, and it was keeping pace with the S&P 500. It should have been way ahead of the S&P 500. Then all of a sudden it started to gain momentum against the S&P, and then just this past year, 2023, it took off like a rocket, because people understand, or beginning to understand, what it does with virtualization. So folks, I think we have a really good stock here. So folks, here's sunrise on the beach. So if you want to live on the beach like Jimmy Buffett once did, you've got to learn how to invest even better than Warren Buffett. And he doesn't have Arista in his portfolio. And folks, we just might after this report. So go out, enjoy the weekend, stay safe, be with your family, take it easy, don't think about the market. And folks, the market will be open right back here again on Monday. So folks, you stay safe. We'll see you next week.